This is Teacher Jenny again at nandito naman ako para i-discuss sa inyo ang topic natin para sa week 5 ng second quarter, which is yung Law of Exponent and its application. So for this day, ang objectives natin ay pagkatapos nito, you will be able to identify the different law of exponent. Pangalawa is to multiply and divide polynomials. At yung huli is to solve problems involving multiplication and division of polynomials. Ngayon, let's remember na in the process of multiplication and division of polynomials, you need to apply the laws of exponent. So, sa pag-multiply daw natin and divide ng polynomials, we need to apply the laws of exponent na i-discuss din natin mamaya. So, remember, that exponent tells how many times the base will be multiplied by itself. So, ang exponent daw ay nagsasabi sa atin kung gaano natin or ilang beses natin imumultiply yung base sa sarili niya. So, let's have an example. So, any number a raised to n, wherein ang a natin is the base, and yung n natin dun sa taas is the exponent. Now, let's have this example. I have here 5 raised to 3. So, in this given, ang base daw natin ay yung a. So, dito sa given na to, ang base natin is 5. At yung 3 yung tinatawag nating exponent. Now, sabi kanina, ang exponent daw ay nagsasabi sa atin kung ilan imumultiply yung base sa sarili niya. So, given the base 5 and exponent 3, ibig sabihin, imumultiply natin yung 5 tatlong beses sa sarili niya. So, we have 5 times 5 times 5. 5 yung base, siya yung imumultiply sa sarili. 3 yung exponent, ibig sabihin, tatlong beses. So, 5 times 5 times 5. And that is equal to 125. So, that is exponent. 5 raised to 3 is equal to 125. Next, what if I have this? Given the base, and I multiply this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times by itself. So how can I write this in exponential form? So we have x raised to 5. X ang base, 5 ang ating exponent kasi 5 beses natin siya minultiply sa sarili. Now here the base is x and the exponent is 5. So let's have a very simple activity, learning task number 1, which we need to simplify by writing in exponential form itong mga number na to, at yung sa kabila is to write this in expanded form. So given na dito yung una, which is yung 2, multiply natin ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times sa sarili niya. That's why base 2, 6 ang exponent. Let's try this one. I have here the base is 3 raised to a. 3a. So, ibig sabihin, I have 3a as my base. Dalawa siya. Isang number, numerical coefficient, at isang literal coefficient. So, pag ganito yung case, we need to put parentheses. So, we have how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the exponent is 4. So, merong iba na gumagawa na it is like 3a then raised to 4. So, that is wrong. Bakit? Kasi ang naka-raise lang kay 4 ay yung a. So, dapat meron siyang parenthesis 3a, close parenthesis, raised to 4. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng yan, i-raise mo kay 4. Okay? How about the next one? We have negative 4. The base is negative 4. Let's put parenthesis then para hindi siya magulo. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, the exponent is 5. Okay? Let's go in the other part or yung next column. So, sa next column naman, we should write this in expanded form. So, papahabain daw natin. So, given dito sa isa, 2x yung base at 4 na beses daw imumultiply sa sarili. So, we have 2x, 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 2x. So, in this case, sa x, y, raised to 7, ibig sabihin yung xy, imumultiply natin sa sarili niya 7 times. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yan, medyo mahirap magsulat dito. 7. So that is xy raised to 7. Base xy, 7 times siya multiply sa sarili. Same thing with the third given. Negative ab, ang base, 6 ang exponent. So meaning to say, we will multiply negative ab by itself 6 times. So yan, susulat lang natin ng 6 na beses. So that is our learning task number 1. So let's discuss about the law of exponent. So we have here, the first law is the product law of exponent. The second is the quotient law of exponent. The third is the power of a power rule. And fourth is power of a product. At yung last, yung power of a quotient. So iisa-isahin natin siya. So let's have first the product law of exponent. So by the word itself, product, ibig sabihin, multiplication of exponent. Okay, product law. So let's have an example. I have here b raised to 2 multiply to b raised to 3. So yung dot na yan, ibig sabihin yan, multiplication. Okay? So pag ni-write natin to sa expanded form, yan ay b times b. Tama? Kagaya ng ginawa natin sa kanina. So b yung base, tapos, to yung exponent, meaning to say, we will multiply b sa sarili niyan 2 beses. On the other hand, yung b raised to 3, multiply naman natin. So, let's copy this dot. Ibig sabihin multiplication. Tapos, b raised to 3, ibig sabihin, multiply natin si b 3 beses sa sarili niya. So, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, now, if we combine this together, we have b times b times b times b times b times b. So, this one, ang base is b. Ilang beses siya minultiply sa sarili niya? 5. Tama? So, ibig sabihin, this is equal to b raised to 5. Therefore, b squared times b raised to 3 is equal to b raised to 5. Imagine or observe, anong ginawa natin kay 2 and kay 3 when it comes to multiplication of exponent? We simply add the exponent. We just need to copy the base, b, and then add the exponent 2 and 3, and that will give us b raised to 5. Next, that is product law of exponent. So again, pag product law of exponent, we just need to add the exponent. Copy the base, tapos add the exponents. Quotient law of exponent. So I have here a raised to 5 over a raised to 2. Division, tama? Because that's quotient. Ibig sabihin, a raised to 5 divided by a raised to 2. So, in writing this in expanded form, it's just like a times a times a times a times a all over a times a kasi a raised to 2. So, in division, di ba pagka pareho babataas, kinakancel natin yan because that is equal to 1. So, let's cancel that at saka ito. So, we have the remaining a times a times a. So, we have a raised to 3. A yung base, 3 beses natin multiply sa sarili. So, exponent ay 3. Look, anong nangyari doon? So, we have a raised to 5, a raised to 2. So, anong nangyari? Bakit naging 3? So, kung sa product, we add the exponent. In this case, we just need to subtract the exponent. Kapag division siya, copy the base, and then subtract the exponent. So, we have 5. 5 kasi nasa taas, so una talaga si 5 dapat. 5 minus 2. So, that is 3. A raised to 5 over a raised to 2 is equal to a cube or a raised to 3. So, that is the quotient law of exponent. Another example is, what if I have the same exponent as well? So, kung mapapansin nyo, we have here a cube and a cube. A cube over a cube. So, sabi natin kanina, we need to subtract the exponent, then copy the base. So, if we copy the base and subtract the exponent, it will give us a raised to 0. Tama? And this is equal to 1. Reminder, any number raised to 0, that is equal to 1. Kahit yan pa ay 1,000, raised to 0, that is equal to 1. Okay, any number na raised kay 0, that is equal to 1. Imagine, kung titingnan nyo naman, kapag ka, di ba, nagdi-divide tayo ng dalawa talagang parehong number, the answer is really number 1. So, same thing sa quotient law of exponent. Same exponent in dividing this this exponent, so that will give us 1. Therefore, a raised to 3 divided by a raised to 3 is equal to 1. Another example, what if I have a raised to 2 over a raised to 4? Kung mapapansin nyo, mas maliit yung nauna, which is 2 kaysa sa 4. So, 2 minus 4, that will give us a raised to negative 2 kasi 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So, pag ganun yung case, hindi siya pwedeng ang exponent ay negative. Bakit? So, paano mo siya i-expand, diba? So, the only thing we need to do is ilagay siya sa baba and maglagay tayo ng 1 sa taas. So, this a raised to negative 2 is also equal to 1 over a raised to 2. Therefore, we have a squared over a raised to 4 is equal to 1 over a raised to 2. Okay? So again, if the exponent or the answer happen to be like this, negative yung exponent, let's just put it in the denominator dun sa baba at magkaroon tayo ng 1 sa taas. Okay? Or it's just like the same as this. Kasi ito ay a times a over a times a times a times a. Look, kapag nag-cancel tayo nito at saka nito, di ba hindi naman masasabing 0 yan. Meron talaga siyang 1 na maiiwan dyan at nasa baba si a raised to 2 kasi a times a yung natira. So, a raised to 2. So, same thing. Okay? So, kung ano yung mas madali, yun yung gawin nyo. Next is the power of a power rule. So, tapos na tayo sa product law of exponent, quotient law of exponent. Let's have the power of a power. Power na may power pa. So, let's have this. So, any number daw m and integers x, y. Kapag ganito siya, m na naka-raise kay x, tapos lahat sila naka-raise kay y, that is m raised to x times y. So, ano yan? Let's have an example. I have here a squared raised to 3. So, meron siyang power sa loob, yung a ay may exponent na 2. And then, there's another power sa labas, which is yung 3. So, ano daw gagawin natin? Multiplication. So, meaning to say, it's just like, pag in-expand natin to, tatlong beses natin i-multiply si a squared, a squared, a squared sa sarili niya. That is a, kagaya ng product law natin, a, kapag pare-pareho, copy the base, and then just add the exponent. So we have a raised to 6 or just simply like this. If there will be power na sa loob and there will be another power sa labas, that's why a power of a power rule, a raised to 2, tas naka-raise siya kay 3, meaning to say we just need or simply multiply 2 and 3. Yung exponent sa loob, imumultiply natin dun sa power sa labas. So we have 2 times 3, that is 6. So copy the base a raised to 6. Again, power of a power, may exponent sa loob, pinower pa sa labas ng 3, so just multiply the exponent and the given power outside. So that is a raised to 6. So that is the power of a power rule. So let's move naman do sa pang-apat, which is the power of a product. Okay, so when we say power of a product, in any numbers m and n and integer x, so let's have here m times n or mn, then raised to x is equal daw kay m raised to x, n raised to x. So kung mapapansin nyo, parang minultiply din natin yung power na x dun sa exponent ng mga nasa loob. So let's have an example. I have here 2ab raised to 3 or to the power of these 3. So, ang mangyayari daw dyan ay ganito. Si 2 understood na may reason kay 1. So, 3 times this 1, exponent ni 2, that is 3. Now, itong si A, that is understood din na may 1 sa taas or exponent na 1. So, that is 3 times 1, that will give us 3 as well. Diba sa power of A power? Kung ano yung power sa loob, imumultiply pag may power sa labas. So, ganun din. Then, we have here, si B naman, it's understood din na may 1 dyan as exponent. So, 3 times 1, that is 3 then. That's why we have 2 raised to 3, A raised to 3, and B raised to 3. So, if we simplify this will give us at 2 times 2 times 2, 2 raised to 3, that will give us 8. And then we have A cube, B cube. So, that is our final answer. 2ab raised to 3 or in the power of 3, that will give us 8, a raised to 3, b raised to 3. Another example, I have here 3a squared to the power of 2. So we have here the numerical coefficient 3 na understood na may 2 na may 1 sa taas. So we have here 3 raised to, di ba, may 1 to. So 2 times 1, that will give us 2. So that's why 3 raised to 2. Now si a, may exponent siya na 2 na. So power of power. So 2 Nasa labas si 2, may exponent sa loob na 2 din. So, multiply 2 times 2, that will give us 4. That's why we have 3 squared, a raised to 4. And what is 3 raised to 2? That will give us 9. 3 times 3, that is 9. And then copy a raised to 4. Meaning to say, 3a squared to the power of 2, that is 9a raised to 4. So, we have here power of a quotient. Kung meron tayong power of a product, meron din tayong power of a quotient. In any number m and n daw, integer ay x. So we have m over n. Si x naman ay nasa labas or the power kay x. So we have, kung mapapansin nyo, we have m raised to x and n raised to x. So therefore, we're gonna have or multiply this power then dun sa mga exponents sa loob. And may understood na 1 yan, may 1 yan. So x times 1, x times 1, x. So we have m raised to x all over n raised to x. So let's have an example. I have here 3 over 2 to the power of 3. So this 3, sabi ko, pagka walang exponent, that's understood na may 1, na may 1 din to. So we have 3 times 1, that is 3. And then 3 times din sa exponent na 1 din, that is 3. That's why parang dinistribute lang natin yung exponent na, no? So 3 raised to 3 and then 2 raised to 3. And this 3 raised to 3 is equal to 3 times 3 times 3. Tama? All over 2 times 2 times 2. And this 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 27. And then we have 2 times 2 times 2, that is equal to 8. That's why our final answer is 27 all over, 27 over 8. So those are the law of exponent. Now, we have here multiplication and division naman of polynomial. Diba sabi ko kanina, let's remember na we can use the law of exponents na diniscuss natin in multiplying and dividing polynomials. So let's have example number 1. Multiply 3xy and 4xz. Okay? We have numerical coefficient 3 here and 4 there. So the only thing we need to do is, let's have the solution. So that is multiplication sa multiply. This parentheses represent multiplication na, di ba? So there's no operation in between and may parentheses, so that is multiplication. It's just like this. Imu-multiply natin si numerical coefficient sa kapwa niya numerical coefficient. So that is 3 times 4. And then that's the only time let's multiply those variables or literal coefficient na x, y, and xz. So we have x, we can multiply that to the x, may kapwa x siya doon. Si y, tapos si z. Okay? Parang isusulat lang natin lahat ng given doon sa baba. So we have now, what is 3 times 4? That is 12. And then x times x, oh, law of exponent. X times x, so that is x squared. Tama? Exponent nito 1. Exponent nito 1. Product law of exponent. So we'll just add the exponent. That is x raised to 2. Y. Copy lang si y kasi wala naman siyang kapareho. And then copy lang si letter z. So we have 3xy times 4xc. That will give us 12x squared yz. Okay? Next. Example number 2 is find the product of 3abc and 4a squared plus 3a minus 5. Yung kanina in na example natin, we just multiply monomial to monomial. Ano ba pag sinabi nating monomial and monomial? One term only to one term only. But in this case, we need to multiply na a monomial. This is one term. Tama? And we have here trinomial na. 3 terms. Kasi we have 3 terms here. That's why trinomial. So what will happen if we have that case? So we can use the distributive property. So in distributive property, it's just like, let's write it like this. Multiplication. 3abc multiplied to 4a squared plus 3a minus 5. Distributive, from the word itself, i-distribute daw natin. Sino? Siyempre, yung monomial. Si monomial, imumultiply natin sa lahat ng term doon sa kabila. So we have here, the first term here is 4a squared. So meaning to say, we will multiply 3abc, i-distribute natin siya sa unang term na 4a squared. So eto yon. Tapos, si 3abc din, imumultiply natin dito sa second term, eto yon. And then, si 3abc din, imumultiply natin doon sa third term, eto yon. So, this one. Okay, iniba-iba ko yung kulay para hindi nakakalito. So, let's do this one by one. Bakit plus? Plus muna yung gamitin natin kasi ginugroup pa natin siya. Okay? But in writing this, just like this, 3ABC multiplied to negative 5, sinasama natin si negative doon kay 5. Kasi negative 5 siya. Okay? So, let's have 3ABC multiplied to 4A squared. That will give us, so numerical coefficient muna. What is 3 times 4? That is 12. Yung literal naman, or yung letters, meron tayo ditong A, may A squared doon. So, A times A squared, that is A cube. Product law of exponent. Ito may exponent na 1, ito may exponent na 2, so 2 plus 1, so that is 3. Okay? And then BC, wala namang kapareho, so just copy B and C. So that is 12 A cube BC. Okay? Next, move naman tayo sa kabila, so let's have the plus sign. Plus sign, and then numerical coefficient ulit, 3 times 3, yung number muna, so that's 9. A times A, so pareho siya, that's A squared. Law of exponent, right? BC walang kapareho, so just copy B and C. So that is plus 9A squared BC. Let's have the last one. I have here numerical coefficient 3 and negative 5 lang. Ito wala nang kasamang literal coefficient because this is constant. So we have 3 times negative 5. So we have plus, lagyan natin parentheses kasi may negative. 3 times negative 5, that's negative 15. Tama? Tapos wala na tong letters, so we will just copy A, B, C. So meaning to say that is plus negative 15, A, B, C. Now, let's have the final answer. Kung mapapansin nyo, we just need to copy these two. Hindi naman natin siya pwedeng i-plus kasi we have different literal coefficient. Kung matatandaan niyo yung ating addition and subtraction of polynomials, we just need to add and subtract polynomials with exact or the same literal coefficient. So, since iba naman yung literal coefficient nito sa isa't isa, so meaning to say we can combine them. So, that will be the final answer. Bakit po negative dun sa dulo? Kasi plus at saka minus. Ganun sabi ko sa inyo before. Anong mananalo sa plus and minus dyan pag magka-tapat sila or multiply? It's just like positive multiply to negative. So that is negative. Okay, so we have the final answer. 12a cubed BC plus 9a squared BC minus 15 ABC. Okay? Now, what is the product naman of m minus 4 multiplied to 2m squared plus 2m minus 3? Look, binomial na tayo to trinomial. Okay? Binomial, 2 terms. Trinomial, 3 terms. So, paano naman gagawin natin siya? So, in this case, we have two methods. So, the first method is yung distributive method, yung horizontal method na tinatawag natin, and vertical method. So, sa distributive method, distribute. From the word itself, i-distribute din natin. Alin po? So, kanina yung monomial, dinistribute natin sa lahat ng trinomial. But this time, we have binomial. Meaning to say, each term here, kada isa, i-distribute natin doon. Tapos pagkatapos ng isa, yung pangalawa naman, i-distribute din natin doon. So, that is distributive property. So, let's have this example. Una, i-distribute natin si M sa lahat ng to. So, ayan, kung mapapansin nyo, si M, i-multiply natin doon sa second algebraic expression natin. Pagkatapos naman natin, i-follow lang natin yung sign sa loob. So, that is minus. Ayan. Minus, we have si 4 naman, negative 4, imumultiply naman natin sa lahat din dun sa nasa loob. Ayan siya. Okay? So, yon, binomial to trinomial. So, we will distribute each term to the next algebraic expression. Now, let's start multiplying these terms. So, we have m times 2m squared. So, walang numerical coefficient. That is 2m cube. Tama? Bakit? This understood na may 1. So, 2 times 1, that's 2 lang. Ym cube. M raised to 1 to understood na may 1. Law of exponent. Product law of exponent. M raised to 1 times M raised to 2. We'll just need to add the exponent. That will give us 3. Okay? Plus, M times 2M. That is 2M squared. Numerical coefficient na 2 and 1 doon. So, that's 2. M times M. That's M squared. Okay? May 1 dyan, may 1 dyan, i-add, so that is 2. Next, m times negative 3, that is negative 3m. Let's have the other part naman. We have negative 4 times 2m squared, numerical coefficient na negative 4, multiply to positive 2, that will give us negative 8. Negative 4 times 2, that's negative 8. Then copy lang si m squared kasi wala naman tong letters. Okay? Next, negative 4 times positive 2m. Negative 4 times positive 2, that will give us negative 8. Again, and then wala naman tong letters or variables, so we'll just need to copy m there. Next is negative 4 times negative 3, that will give us positive 12. Okay? Is this our final answer? Not yet. Because we have terms na like, or we can combine them. Kagaya nito. We have, for 2m cubed, wala siyang kapareho. So, let's just copy. How about 2m squared? Si 2m squared, pareho sila ni negative 8m squared, tama? Because they have the same literal coefficient, meaning to say we can combine them. Pareho silang may m squared. So, in our rule, this addition and subtraction of polynomials, we can add or subtract those polynomials na merong same literal coefficient. At silang dalawa yan. So, let's have addition muna for groupings. And then we have copy 2m squared. Copy this with this negative sign sa tabi niya. So, negative 8m squared. Plus ulit, ano pang pwede nating combine? Si negative 3m, isasama natin yung katabi niya, negative 3m minus kay 8m. Kasi they are like terms. And then, si 12, mag-isa lang kasi wala ng other constant. So, we have here, just copy 2m cubed, 2m squared minus 8m squared, that is negative 6m squared. Tama? 2 minus 8, that is negative 6. O bakit po m squared? Hindi ba ima-minus siya, hindi ipa-plus? No, because in adding and subtracting polynomials, di ba, we just need to copy the literal coefficient and work with the numerical coefficient. Okay? So, wag niyo yung kakalimutan. And then, plus negative 3m minus 8m, that is negative 11m. Okay? And then, plus 12. So, we have here the final answer. Kung mapapansin nyo, plus minus again, magiging 2m cubed minus 6m squared minus 11m plus 12. Okay? Let's have naman the vertical method. In vertical method, by the word itself, vertical, so we're gonna do it vertically. Okay? Let's just write muna yung given vertically. Unahin natin yung mas madami yung term, trinomial sa taas. Let's have the binomial sa baba. So, itatapat lang natin yung like terms, 2m and m, then the constant 3 and 4, tatapat lang natin. So, let's work with the first one. First term, kagaya ng ginawa natin dito. First term na m, multiply sa lahat ulit. But let's do it vertically. So, m times 2m squared, that is 2m cubed. Tama? Kagaya nung sa kanina. Then, m multiplied by 2m, that is positive 2m squared. m multiplied by negative 3, that is negative 3m. So, we're done with the first term. Ngayon naman kay second term naman tayo ng negative 4. Negative 4, multiply ulit sa lahat sa 2m squared, that is, di ba, negative 8m squared. Ma'am, bakit mo po dyan tinapat? Kasi we have the same literal coefficient here. So, we need to align it with the same literal coefficient. Si negative 4 naman, doon sa pangalawa, times 2m, that's negative 8m. Then last, negative 4 times negative 3, that will give us positive 12. Doon na lang siya sa dulo kasi wala naman siyang same term. So, just like what we're doing in multiplication, we need to add them. Okay? Baba lang natin si 12 kasi wala naman siya katapat. So, negative 3 plus negative 8, that is negative 11. That's why negative 11, then copy the literal coefficient m. Okay? Then, positive 2 plus negative 8, that is negative 6. And then, copy the literal coefficient m squared. Again, kapag add and subtract lang yung ginagawa natin, we just need to copy the literal coefficient. Okay? Tatrabahuhin lang natin yung mga numerical coefficient. And then, bring down 2m cubed. Wala naman siya katapat. So, we'll come up with the same answer. 2m cubed minus 6m squared minus 11m plus 12. Okay? So, yan. Tapos na tayo sa multiplication. Now, let's move naman sa division. When we say quotient, that is division. So, let's have this 25x raised to 5 y squared z cubed divided by 5x y cubed z squared. So, kung isusulat natin yan ng fraction, so ganito yung itsura. Ito sa taas, yung nasa una, ito yung nasa baba, divisor. We have the denominator. Okay? So, ang una nating gagawin is to work with the numerical coefficient. So, we have 25 divided by 5, that is 5. So, bakit po nasa taas? Pwede naman sa baba. Kasi mas malaki si 25. Okay? Kung saan yung mas malaki, doon ilalagay. So, we have 25 divided by 5, sa taas siya, which is 5. Si x raised to 5, same siya kay x na nasa baba. Tama? So, we have here x 5. Ito understood na may 1. What's that? The quotient law of exponent, 'di ba? Pag division is subtract natin yung exponent. Bakit sa taas mo, teacher, nilagay yung x 5 minus 1? Pwede naman siya sa baba. Kasi nga, mas malaki yung 5 dun sa taas. Mas malaki yung exponent ito. So, sa taas natin siya ilulugar. Okay? How about the next na y squared? Y squared and then y cube. Saan siya? Sa baba. Kasi mas malaki si 3. Okay? Bakit naging 3 minus 2? 2. Bakit naging 3 minus 2? Kasi, copy the y, the base y, and then yung exponent, di ba sabi natin kanina, we need to subtract. Okay? So, we have 3 minus 2. Kasi si baba niya, ang kasama niya na talaga 3. So, 3 minus 2. Okay? So, sabi mo, teacher, kanina, uunahin natin yung nasa taas lagi, 2 minus 3. So, pwede naman. Kaya lang, dito nyo siya ilalagay sa taas. Y raised to 2 minus 3. So, magiging negative yung sagot niyan, di ba? Negative 1. So, ibababa pa din natin. So, ganun din. Sa baba na lang natin siya gawin. So, y and then 3 minus 2. Ngayon, si z naman. So, we have mataas yung 3 doon. So, sa taas natin ilalagay. Z, 3 minus the exponent din, 2. So, meaning to say, we have 5 na iwan doon. X raised to 5 minus 1, that will give us 4. And then z, 3 minus 2, that will give us 1. Understood, may 1 dyan. Then over y raised to 3 minus 2, that is y. Imagine, kung sa taas din natin nilagay si y, isinama natin dito sa taas. Kunyari, isingit natin. Y raised to 2 minus 3. That will give us y raised to negative 1, di ba? Ibababa din natin siya. So, ayun na, y sa baba. So, same thing lang, di ba? Binaba lang natin na sa solution. Okay? So, meaning to say, we have this is equal to 5x raised to 4 z over y. Another example, ayan, napakadami naman. Yung kanina, we have monomial ulit, to monomial. But this time, we have quotient na ng, ano to? Ilang term na yan? 4 na yan, teacher. So, that is multinomial. Okay? Over sa monomial lang. So, ano mangyayari dyan? If we have this case na sa taas, we have a multinomial, trinomial, or mas madaming term. So, and ang ating nasa baba ay monomial. So, we can distribute all of these or these monomial sa lahat ng term dun sa taas. So, it's just like 4x raised to 8 over 2x squared. Tapos, yung positive 6x raised to 6 over din natin kay 2x squared. Si negative 2x raised to 4 over din natin kay 2x squared. At pati si negative 10x squared, i-over din natin kay 2x squared. Okay? So, meaning to say, ngayon ka magdi-divide. Kapag na-distribute mo na siya sa lahat ng terms sa taas, ngayon ka magdi-divide. So, what is 4x raised to 8 divided by 2x squared? So, 4 divided by 2, that is 2. And then, 8 minus 2, that is 6. Okay? Quotient, law of exponent, ha? Huwag kakalimutan. Let's have the next. So, we have positive 6 divided by 2, that will give us 3. And then, x raised to 6, x raised to 2, 6 minus 2, that is 4. Next, we have negative 2 divided by 2, that's 1. Pwede hindi natin isulat. And then x, 4 minus 2, that will give us squared. So, minus x squared. The last one, we have negative 10 divided by 2. So, that is negative 5 x squared and x squared. So, cancel na or that's equal to 1. So, wag na natin isulat. So, we have negative 5. Therefore, we have 2x raised to 6 plus 3x raised to 4 minus x squared minus 5 as our final answer. Let's have the next example. Paano naman pag ganito? We need to divide trinomial na or mas madaming term to binomial na. So, we can't do like yung kanina na didistribute sa lahat. No. So, pwede naman siya, kaya lang aanuhin mo po siya. So, we have different steps. Or we have different steps to follow kapag ganito na yung mangyayari. Step 1. Arrange both dividend and divisor in descending or the ascending powers of common variables, leaving a space or replacing the missing term with 0. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun? Arrange daw natin yung dividend natin and divisor. And then we have here, let's write our 15n squared minus 2n minus 24 here. Para sinabing arrange. Arrange daw natin yung powers of the common variables. So we have ang powers nito ay 2, ito ay 1. So naka-arrange na siya. Wala namang naiwan sa pagitan. And then we have 3n minus 4 dun sa ating divisor. Okay? So next step is divide the first term of the dividend with the first term of the divisor to get the first term of the quotient. I-divide daw natin yung first term na ating dividend sa first term ng ating divisor para makuha natin yung first term ng ating sagot. Okay? First to first lang to get the first, di ba? 15n squared divided by 3n. Numerical coefficient muna. 15 divided by 3, that is 5. N squared divided by n. O, divide ha. So, meaning to say, isa-subtract ang exponent, that is n. So, meaning to say, we have the first term of our quotient, 5n. Next, tapos na tayo sa step number 2. Sa step number 3 naman, multiply the entire divisor by the term of the quotient and the right product under the dividend of a similar term. So, kapag nakakuha na daw tayo ng first term ng quotient, i-multiply naman natin siya sa ating divisor. Lahat ng term sa divisor. Kapag nakuha natin yung sagot dito sa minultiply natin, i-align natin siya sa ating similar term ng dividend. So, we have 5n muna, multiply to 3n. That will give us 5 times 3, that's 15. N times n, that's n squared. So, saan natin siya itatapat? Dito sa n squared din, similar term. So, 15 n squared. Next, si 5n din, kailangan nating i-multiply dun sa second term, which is negative 4. 5 times negative 4, that is negative 20. So, wala man itong variable na n, may n yun, so just copy n. So, tatapat natin siya sa term na may n. So, just like our division na ginagawa, sa-subtract din natin yung similar term, applying the rule in subtracting polynomials. Gaya ng ginagawa natin sa normal na division. So, subtracting this, we have 2 or negative 2 minus negative 20. That will give us positive 18, then copy n. O, bakit positive 18? So, yan ay different rules or operation on integers. Ha? Kailangan i-recall din talaga natin yan. Okay? Next. So, we have step number 5. Bring down the unused term of the dividend. So, meron na tayong sagot doon sa subtraction natin. Let's bring down the unused term, which is yung negative 24. Ibababa lang natin. So, we have now 18n minus 24. Then, let's have or let's divide again the first term to first term kapag naibaba na natin. So, 18n divided by 3n, that will give us positive 6. Bakit positive 6? 18 divided by 3, that's 6. Eh, yung n divided by n, so that's 1 na, diba? So, we don't need to write down. Or 6 times 1, that's 6. And then, step number 7, ulitin lang natin yung ginawa natin kanina. After natin i-divide yung first term to first term at nagkaroon tayo ng another term sa ating quotient, let's multiply this, yung naging sagot, sa pareho. Okay, pagpababa, i-multiply natin sa pareho. So, positive 6 multiplied by 3n, that is 18n. So, itatapat natin sa similar term. Positive 6 multiplied by negative 4, that's negative 24. Tama? Tatapat lang natin sa constant na negative 24. And subtracting these two, that will give us 0. So, doon na tayo mag-stop. And then, this is our final answer. Therefore, the quotient is 5n plus 6. And you can check this also if your answer is correct by multiplying yung ating divisor sa naging sagot natin or sa ating quotient. Okay? So that is for division. Now, let's have this example, another example. So we have 6x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 3 divided by x minus 2. So kung mapapansin nyo, we have multinomial also here and then we have binomial as our divisor. Kung mapapansin nyo, naka-arrange ba siya? Yung first step natin? Yes. So we have here cube, squared, and 1 doon. So arrange na siya. Okay? So, first is divide the first term to first term. 6x cubed divided by x, that is 6x squared. Bakit? 6 divided by 1, that's 6. X cubed divided by x, that's x squared. After dividing the first term to first term, multiply the first term ng quotient natin doon naman sa dalawang term ng ating divisor. So, we have 6x squared muna, multiply by x, that is 6x cubed. And then, next 6x squared multiplied by negative 2, that is negative 12x squared. Okay, bakit? 6 times negative 2, negative 12. X squared, copy lang kasi wala naman tong literal coefficient. So, we have subtract these. So, we have negative 3 minus negative 12, that is positive 9x squared. Next, we have here 9x squared na. Bring down daw the unused term. So, dun muna tayo sa positive 2x, ibababa natin. So, we have now follow the rule nung ginawa natin kanina. First term, divide to the first term. 9x squared divided by x, that's 9x. This 9x na naging sagot, multiply naman natin dun sa dalawang term na ating divisor. 9x times x, 9x squared. Positive 9x times negative 2, negative 18x. Tama? And then, subtract this. Positive 2x minus 18x. So, parang positive 2 minus 18x. So, that will give us positive 20x. Okay? Positive 20x. Meron pa tayong unused term na positive 3. Baba ulit natin. Ayun. So, follow ulit natin yung rule. First term to first term, 20x divided by x, 20 na lang. Positive 20 kasi 20 divided by 1, that's 20. X divided by x, that is 1. So, no need to write 20 times 1, so 20 na yun. So, after nating may makuhang sagot ulit sa taas, imumultiply natin ulit siya dun sa mga terms ng ating divisor. So, 20 times x, that is 20x. 20 multiplied by negative 2, that is negative 40. Tama? And then subtracting this, we have positive 3 minus negative 40, that is positive 43. So, wala na tayong unused term dun, ma'am. So, wala na tayong ibaba. So, this is what we call the remainder. Ibig sabihin, kapag ito na yung natira, wala na tayong unused term there. So, ibig sabihin, this is what we call the remainder. So, how can we write the final answer? We can write our final answer just like this. Write lang natin naging quotient. And then, remainder are 43. Or, we can write is like this. Copy yung naging sagot or quotient dun sa taas, plus yung remainder natin na 43, i-over natin sa ating divisor na x minus 2. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Na-divide na natin yung the rest of the term at na naging sagot is 6x squared plus 9x plus 20. But may natira pang 43 na hindi na natin kayang i-divide, kaya isinulat na lang natin as 43 divided by x minus 2. Okay? So, that is the division of polynomials. Now, let's try to simplify this learning task number 2. Let's have some given. I have here negative m raised to 4 raised or to the power of 3. Anong rule kaya to? This is may exponent sa loob, tapos may power pa sa labas. This is power of a power. So, this is negative m raised to 12. Bakit? Power of a power. Exponent na 4 sa loob, i-multiply sa power na 3 sa labas. So, that is 12. Negative m raised to 12. How about this one? I have here 10c squared divided by 2d cube with the power of 2. So, we have here the power or quotient, diba? So, this is for the quotient. So, we have power din sa labas na 2. Ano magiging mangyayari dyan? So, we have here the power of a quotient. So, with application din ng power of a product. Etong si 10, may exponent yan na 1, di ba? Understood na may 1. And then, power of a power, or like yung ginawa natin sa power of a product, na may exponent na 1, multiply by 2. So, that's 2. Si C, may exponent na siya na 2, to the power of 2 pa, that is 4. Over, si 2, may power na 1 yan, or exponent na 1. So, we have 2 raised to 2. Kasi 2 times 1, that's 2. Si D naman, meron siyang cube or power na 3 or exponent na 3. And may power pa na 2. So, 2 times 3, that is 6. And then, we have here 10 times 10 kasi 10 raised to 2, that is 100. And PC raised to 4. All over 2 times 2, that is 4. And then D raised to 6. So that will be our answer. 100C raised to 4, 4D raised to 6. Mas simplify pa ba siya? Yes. Okay, why? 100 divided by 4, that will give us 25. Tama, sa taas natin ilalagay kasi mas malaki si 100. So, C raised to 4 over D raised to 6. O, bakit nawala si 4? E, dinivide mo na nga itong dalawa, which give us 25. Okay, so final answer is 25, C raised to 4 over D raised to 6. Okay, so perform the indicated operation. Kung mapapansin natin, this is for multiplication. So I have here monomial to trinomial. So I have 2AB, sabi natin distributive. Si 2AB na monomial, di-distribute natin sa lahat dyan sa loob. It's multiplication. So we have 2AB multiplied to 4A squared. That is 2 times 4, that's 8. A times A squared, that's A cube. Si B, wala nang kapareho doon, so that's B. So addition plus 2 times 3, that's 6. A times A, that's A squared. B times B, that's B squared. Next, ito naman, papunta doon. 2 times negative 7, that's negative 14. A times AB times B squared, wala nang A doon, so copy A. Si B naman, B times B squared, that's B cube. So we have this as our final answer. 8a cube b plus 6a squared b squared minus 40 cube. So pareho, diba? Ay, that's our final answer. Now, let's try to have this word problem. Sabi dito, we have here, what is the area of the rectangle whose length is x plus 5 and with a width of x minus 5? Rectangle. So, ganito yung rectangle, di ba? So, we have the length and the width. So, kapag rectangle, ang ginagawa natin to get the value or the area, we need to multiply the length, multiply sa width. Tama? And ang given length is x plus 5. So, x plus 5. At ang given natin na width ay x minus 5. So, anong gagawin natin? Multiplication. Product of the binomial to binomial. Okay, so distributive din yung gagawin natin. We can do the vertical method or the horizontal method na ginawa natin kanina. Okay, so let's have this. X muna. Gaya nung ginawa natin kanina, si x, imumultiply natin yung first term doon sa ating pangalawang algebraic expression, minus 5. Plus, si 5, imumultiply din natin kay x minus 5. So, we have here x times x, that's x squared. X times negative 5, that's negative 5x. Positive 5 plus times x, that's positive 5x. And then 5 times negative 5, that's negative 25. Simplify, copy si x squared. So, wala naman siyang similar term. Similar sa negative 5x, it's a positive 5x. So, negative 5x plus 5x. So, different sign, addition. So, cancel na yan. Minus 25. Bakit cancel? Kasi negative 5 plus 5, that is 0. Tama? So, x squared minus 25. Okay, that is our final answer. So, that's all for our law of exponent and its application. So, again, before or para malaman nyo itong law of exponent, then you need to have the knowledge of the operation in integers. At syempre, yung addition and subtraction din nating polynomials. Okay? So, thank you very much. For the next video natin, ipe-prepare is for the special product. Okay? So, for the next video natin na ipe-prepare, that's for special product. Kasi as you can see, sa word problem natin, yung mga binomial na special na yan, we have shortcuts to do those things. So, then, yun yung mga bagay na di-discuss natin for the next video. Paano ba natin mapapadala yung mga product na yun, given yung mga algebraic expression. Kaya, panoodin nyo din. Thank you and God bless.